You guys, I can't lie, man. Low key, I'm very happy that the final whistle has blown. Yes, I'm happy that we secured the bag. We've got the first leg wrapped up courtesy of Reece James with his great effort outside the box first time, which surprised all of us, not even the keeper, but us fans as well as Enzo Fernandez with a well executed finish. Top bins with a late arrival in the box, which would have made Frank Lampard very proud. But outside of that, my guys, let's keep it real. This game, man. This game lets you know if you're a real Chelsea fan, yeah? This game is for like the real hardcore fans where it's like, listen, we are going to watch our team play through thick and thin, no matter how bad the performance is, no matter how tiring, how boring, how hard it was to watch us play, especially in that first half where, wow, it was pretty painful. Let's keep it real. Yes, I'm talking from a fan perspective right now. As a fan, I want to feel like my time's always been just like respected all the time. Maybe I'm being a bit too much, a bit too cynical, a bit too egotistical. As you can tell, I'm still ill. I'm not feeling great right now, and I guess this game today was an escape for me to be able to like forget the illness for like the next 90 minutes, and you know what I mean, do better things in my life. But can't complain. We got the result in the end. But wow, that first half, I feel like that first half was just so frustrating, so boring. And it's got me thinking now that we got the result, was this like by design? Like on one hand, if you're the manager, do you see a game like this as Enzo Maresca and think, you know what? The team's a bit thin right now. We got a big game against Leicester coming up on Sunday before the second leg, before we go Arsenal. And this is where stuff really gets serious for us, right? Do I use a half to kind of just like tire out Copenhagen, frustrate them, and play really safe, boring football? Is that how these guys think? I'm not a coach. I'm only an armchair fan. But even then, I find it too hard to believe, to be fair with you. I think what really just absolutely just dumbfounded me, and I'm sure dumbfounded a lot of you, was how Maresca used some of the players in the lineup today. A lot of us were quite optimistic. We're feeling a bit, giddy, a bit excited seeing Cobham guys starting. Mueko up front, big talent this guy is. Tyree George starting as well too. Few little interesting decisions in the team. And a lot of us thought, yo, this could be like a sick showcase for these youngers to show what they're really about in the system. But boy, this system gave these youths like no chance to do anything, man. Let's keep it real. Like, I actually felt sorry for Mueko so bad. If you never knew who this kid was, and it's your first time seeing him, you would think this guy is like, I don't know what you would think because he was never really in the game at all. And it felt like it was by design, but the attacking guys really suffered in that first half. And it's like, is it any surprise these guys are suffering when you're seeing the crazy decision to start Malo Gusto at left wing? It's like Maresca's just forcing the light-skinned winger at this point. Jadon Sancho's not playing, I guess Malo Gusto. You're going to go and you're going to play left wing. Like, I kind of feel for Gusto a little bit. Like, he gets injured in this game today. Again, that felt like it was by design because he's only comfortable doing anything with his right foot. Bro, we've seen him fumble left foot shots, fumble left foot passes. It's not for him. It's not for him. Yet throughout the season, he's only found himself in uncomfortable positions, uncomfortable areas, to the detriment of his ability. Because, bro, what we were seeing from Gusto last season, let's not forget, a lot of you guys was even commenting, saying, listen, if Madrid want to try and bag Reece James, they're going to have to pay us a bag. But I'm feeling okay with that idea now that I've seen what Malo Gusto can do and offer over a course of a season. And look how he went from one highlight that last season to what he's allowed to show this season, right? I felt for him, man. And I felt like when he got injured, it felt like it was a long time coming because he got like 3 contact hits in a row. And it felt like every time he was getting hit, it was because he was always receiving in like a weird body orientation, body position where because he's only comfortable receiving on his right foot, he wasn't receiving in like a positive body position, and I felt like he was causing too much strain to like his knees or something, just so he can play. And I was just like to myself watching this, watching him suffer on the field, because that's what Gusto was set out to do today. It was told to suffer for some reason. I was just like, Maresca, bro, like, what the hell are you doing? And this is where he gets a bit frustrating, Maresca. Listen, I'm not going to say this guy's crap, and you guys should be a bit humble too, because there's a lot of times where you've been praising him for certain ideas, certain switch ups. We haven't always just played inverted. We have switched it up. But I think what frustrates me is that, does Maresca know when it's the right time to switch up? Because for me, yeah, I've seen enough of this inverted thing to know this is a big game tactic. This ain't the tactic you use against teams who are less than you, that are just here to park the bus. Like, it's not here for that, yeah? It's not here for that at all. And we've seen combinations of where, like, it's a full strength team playing inverted and we're still not looking that good. And it was even worse today when you're forcing players out of position to invert up. For what reason? Like, what was the main utility? You know, Reece James, like, I'll give you an example. Compare Reece James' first half to the second half. First half, Reece James was only passing backwards, wasn't he? Backwards. Second half, he was showcasing what he could do a bit more in the opposition's half right. And it's no surprise that everything was just so backwards. My Lord. I was actually starting to lose my mind, you guys, you know? You're seeing Cole Palmer suffering. Listen, it was one of probably his worst game we've seen him ever play for us. I'm not mad about that. It was a long time coming. Every time he was taking the ball inside, forcing Steven Gerrard, Hollywood this, speculative that, not really doing anything. But can you blame him when he doesn't have Gusto overlapping? For some reason, Tyreek George just played on the right flank. But then I don't think Palmer played one pass this year in the entire game on that right-hand side. I just thought to myself, I'm seeing all these like peculiar players playing in peculiar positions. Like, would it have hurt us if like Tyreek George started on the left? Would it have hurt us if it was flipping Malo Gusto making the overlaps? Was Gusto not doing that against Aston Villa like 2 games ago? You know? Would that not have made it better than for Mueka? You could have got a bit more creativity behind him to try and create an opening for him. You know what I mean? I've seen all these odd things in the game today. And because everyone was in unfamiliar positions, receiving the ball against their stronger foot, it just meant that everything kept going back inside. And I think we were all starting to lose our minds a bit. I mean, the first half was that bad that I confidently knew straight away that Maresca was not going to force the same way of playing second half, right? And thank God we saw those substitutions come on, because in that first half, I think we had one shot. I can't even remember if it was on target. We had nothing. Copenhagen had more threat on the counter-attack against us. And it's just like, Maresca going forward, this way of playing has to change. And in my humble opinion, I really feel like we have to see more switch-ups. This was a game where you easily could have allowed the players' quality to shine through. You should have had Gusto overlapping on the right when Cole Palmer's moving inside, because how is Palmer going to move inside and no one's making a run down the left and no one's making a run down the right? Tyreek George should have been on the left-hand side in his best position the entire time. Little tweaks like that was all you had to do to make a difference. And I say that because we kind of saw those tweaks low-key in the second half, right? Obviously, Cole replacing a Badiashile that has only just returned back to play, so he wasn't going to play the full 90. You saw Enzo Fernandez, of course, Moises getting ready for the game against Leicester. Enzo coming on, having a big impact in midfield. And for a lot of you guys that might be saying Maresca out, remember, one of the reasons why Maresca got picked over the options in the summer, I think you're forgetting, it was McKenna. Who else were we looking at in the summer? It wasn't these sexy options. Was it like, who the hell were we looking at in the summer in terms of managers? Amorim was one of these guys. And there was like another, Thomas Franks was like the Brentford manager. These are like the 4 main candidates in the summer. You're not remembering that. We didn't have many sexy options about. And one of the reasons why Maresca was even hired was because this inverted stuff was supposed to get the best out of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And I think out of all the criticisms we can have, at least you can say he's done it. He's set out what he was supposed to do. Because Enzo Fernandez, I mean, he's looked very good this season. He's looked very strong this season. I thought his introduction, He was offering us something we didn't have in the first half. Quality balls over the top, less pressure off Cole Palmer being forced to be the main creator to unlock the team. Obviously, it helps by having better balance. Cucurella replacing Gusto already made things 10 times better, having a natural left footer who wants to run in behinds constantly and wants to combine. That helped. And to add the icing on the cake, it was Nkunku having the license to receive in that left channel. So when you've got Enzo and Nkunku and Cucurella with the ability to try and combine together, that's going to offer a bit better balance. That's going to help us do something against them. And for the first goal that Reece James scored outside the box, that came from a combo play which involved Cucurella. I think the pass then found Nkunku, who plays it back inside, I think, to Reece James. And Reece James, man, I mean, he's the only guy in the team outside of maybe Cole Palmer who has that old school Chelsea, 04, 05, 05, 06, that the real old school quality of player that would attempt a shot first time like that outside the box. He took it by surprise that I wasn't even ready for that. My celebration was very muted and delayed because I just didn't see it coming. And that's what you need sometimes, players who can take responsibility in these moments. And obviously the second goal coming, a very good goal, courtesy of more combination play down that left side. And that's the difference between the first half and the second half, is that the balance was, it actually existed. And the balance did not exist in the first half. And obviously it was good play again from, Cucurella and Nkunku. Credit to Tyreek George for having the self-awareness to not force a shot, which he could have done because he was just left isolated so much in this game today, to find Enzo Fernandez first time really quickly because he had the awareness to see Enzo's incoming run inside the box, and Enzo with a great finish first time. Little details, but he has slowly improved in his ability to take shots out of his strides. This is why I gave that comment around Lampard would have been proud, because again, it looks like very simple stuff, but it's the execution, it's the mastery of these simple actions which make the big difference. Now, once you get the second goal, the game's wrapped up. I have to say it's a bit disappointing that we don't get the clean sheet. The manner in which we defended the goal from Copenhagen was so poor. No one was marking anyone on the far side at all. Too easy for them to score that goal. And that we made a mistake, because from that goal they scored, how often was the referee calling up yellow card incidences from set pieces? The players switched up, and that's the thing with this team. They aren't good enough over 90 minutes consistently, and they only switch up again once they've been punished in game. And until we learn how to not punish ourselves in this manner, we're not going to be ready for the real top challenges in this game. So that's just a little food for thought in terms of what we're doing right now. But outside of that, man, listen, as I said, this is a game for the hardcore Chelsea fan, yeah? The diehard Chelsea fan, where you didn't see much got you excited. You didn't feel much hope. You weren't feeling much anything, to be fair with you. But you stayed here to the end. You celebrate when the goals went in. And of course, you're going to be back for the second leg next week. So my guys, that's everything I need to say after this game. Share your thoughts and opinions. Who was your top performers? Who wasn't? What's one thing you liked about the game? And what's one thing that frustrated the hell out of you in this game? Let us know below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Cool.